Welcome back, friends. You are watching Tactical Enlightenment, featuring our 300 series. All of these episodes that feature our small but powerful force of war veterans face off against foes in a wide variety of scenarios and in ever increasingly more difficult situations. This Spartan series has been one of our more popular videos, and I want to re-emphasize the point that if you're interested in seeing certain battles, certain scenarios with our hardened group of warriors, just let me know. I respond very positively to feedback. Thanks again, fellas. Alright again, friends, welcome back again to Tactical Enlightenment. This is another episode, hopefully, of our 300 challenge series. I say hopefully because I can, again, continue to narrate these episodes live, and there's probably a large force attacking this castle that I besieged and took recently. So we're going to head over there to defend, and that 30 seconds should give me time. Okay, scratch that. We are fighting, we're going to fight a very large Valandian force here. So take a look at our companions. Of course, this series is, the crux of it is this very strong group of troops. I need to reduce a few troops here to get down to 300, right? We wouldn't want to have an advantage here against 2100. It wouldn't seem fair. So we've got our 300 Spartans here. The crux of it is our very high-level companions, and of course, hand-picked troops from our campaign. This is a little side branch, just like the Mandalorian to Star Wars. People expressed an interest in seeing these 300 guys take on large forces here, so we're going to give this a shot. Hopefully, this is a battlefield that should allow us to do some things, and this is a very good battlefield for us to at least have a shot at winning here. Of course, 300 against 2100 in the open field, and we would be destroyed, especially against Valandia and their heavy cav. But that bridge gives us a shot. So I'm adjusting my 4th Corps. I've been talking about this a lot lately. I want to make a point of it. My 4th Corps is now turned into a crossbow unit. I've split my archers into 4th and 5th Corps. The 5th is all archers. A lot of Britannian Fiend champs and other strong archers in that group. People like Kazate marksmen, I've probably got a handful, etc. And then the 4th Corps is crossbow. So this side of the hill looks perfect. We could spread our units out here in a wide arc. Crossbow closest to the bridge, because when they run out of ammunition, the reason I'm doing that is that group is going to become a sacrificial square. I'm going to move them up in a big block, a big square, after they've expelled their bolts. And then hopefully we can attack the enemy once they're sort of attacking and distracted by that square. So in addition, my army has 2 other specialized groups. The 6th Corps, that's elite skirmishers. All these guys have elite javelin skills. Take a look at the rest of the battlefield here. See if there's any other terrain. I always like to know where we can retreat to in battles like this, right? We're probably going to have to fall back at some point. What do we got over here? What is that? Is that a little land bridge there? You know what? I think I've heard of this map. I think I saw a screenshot about this. I like that better, actually, than where we are. We're going to position troops up that hill. There's a big hill over there, and I'm almost certain there's a small land bridge there that the enemy's going to have to cross. Much narrower than this wide bridge. This bridge is wide, so we're going to use cav here just to kind of slow down the enemy as they approach us here, and we're going to change plans on the fly here. 300. They have almost 300 crossbowmen. Alright, so my units are going to take a little bit of time to get across here. I want to put up units in a shield wall right here. Let's assign the 1st Division, which is our heavy infantry. Let's assign them to shield wall as we try to get these units across this little land bridge. Look at this. There's like tree trunks and stumps and shit here. We're going to be able to channel the enemy here. They'll be in a much narrower area than that bridge. And because of the height of that bridge, we're going to be able to rain arrows down over their shield wall and just fuck them up. So these guys are doing their job, sort of holding the line as our units retreat out of here, and I'm going to bring the cav behind them now. So a lot of these guys, this is my 8th Corps. I didn't mention them, I think. The 6th is skirmishers. They have elite javelin skills. And the 8th, these guys are basically my reserve knights. Most of them are mounted. Most of them have elite riding skill. They're in incredibly strong armor that we've acquired throughout the campaign, and of course a lot of them have 300 athletics or 250 athletics, and then 300 plus weapon skill. So these guys are basically elite knights that we'll also use to charge in on the enemy when the battle is in a dire situation. Besides that, I have 2 cav divisions, the 2nd and 3rd. Got a little bit of time here while the enemy, I hope they come over. Sometimes the enemy gets kind of glitched up. They're kind of way on the other side of the bridge there. I wonder if they're still, you know what I think is happening? I think they're still shooting at our cav down there. Yeah, seems like they're figuring it out. The AI is probably figuring out how they get over here. Of course, we were going to have a battle there at the bridge. Changed my mind. We're going to use this high hill here. I got to be careful with my ammunition. We're on hold fire here. We're not going to shoot arrows across that giant fucking river. The enemy is, though. I can hear our guys getting shot. That might be why they're not coming over. They might just be like, fine, we'll shoot you at 300 range. Crossbowmen have a better range than archers on even terrain, if both sides are on flat ground. So I can actually hear them shooting us, which is not good. I need them to come across. The crux of this strategy here is to get them to cross that land bridge, and then as soon as they're vulnerable, as soon as they're jammed up on that bridge, we are going to fly in like fucking maniacs, plug it like a cork of good wine, and then obliterate the contents of it, right? This is going to be a Friday wine devouring here.
Soldiers! Troops! Troops! Loose formation! Infantry! Troops! Form a shield wall! Troops!
I've just got units in shield wall for the time being. They're making their way across. They got some knights out in front here. I think we're going to attack these guys. I don't need like 30 guys disrupting our attack here. There's very little risk in me doing this. Of course, I have 200 plus hit points. You know, I'll be flying in with my knights on a regular basis here. These are pikes. I got to be a little bit careful, otherwise you get stood up and stabbed like that. We'll return the favor and take the guy's head and arm off. Knock him on the ground. Killed that guy with my horse. And this guy here. How about you catch a javelin, bud? Alright, so their knights are starting to get bottled up. Time to open fire here, and let's bottle it with cav. I don't want this heavy cav getting across the bridge and really starting to tear into our backfield. That's the easiest way for me to lose this battle fast. See, they're nicely bottled up. They got their shields up, but a lot of these arrows are flying in over their shield, hitting them in the fucking head. Now, I've got my super fast axe for this battle. I've started wielding this in more recent episodes. I just find it to be superior for close combat. It doesn't have a lot of reach. It's really short. I'm going to miss a lot of swings, but it's lethally fast. This was a crafted gift from the first character from this campaign. I think it was this guy's grandfather. He made about 2 or 3 dozen really good weapons that we still use. So you see the death span. These guys are just raining in death on these elite horsemen. And it is elite horsemen, right? These are their elite. This is their vanguard. This is Banner Knights and Valandian vanguard. They've got Imperial cataphracts, elite cataphracts with them. These are tough troops we've got to put down. Banner Knight, Banner Knight. But the way they're jammed up here, I mean, it's not the Battle of Agincourt, but it feels a little bit like it. Their knights are basically trapped. They're trudging through the marsh. And the same thing at Agincourt is happening. They're being shot off their mounts, falling into the marsh. And that guy just killed one of our guys. Fuck you. Avenge my friend there. Their troops are pretty well bottled up. They're getting a kill here and there. Their crossbowmen are way back in a big spread arch, that's smart by the AI. Of course, I'm frustrated. I wish they would just charge right into our little maelstrom here and we could kill them too. I'm going to start to pull units back here. Their infantry is still intact. They still got 100 and something infantry. Of course, we're hugely outnumbered in battles like this. 2,100 against 300. Throughout the whole phase of the battle, the enemy's going to have more troops in every category. That was a good initial evisceration, though. Of course, in a battle against Valandia, that's one of the major problems, is these heavy knights, these heavily armored knights running around, especially with our archer heavy army here. They would just skewer us in the open field. I may fart around with a few of the 300 series in the open field, but as you can see, like in the open field against a bunch of knights, especially if they're coming at you from all angles, extremely difficult to borderline impossible to challenge this kind of force with our 300 guys here. So we're going to pull even further back because I still hear people getting shot. One of the things I can do to make the enemy cross this bridge is to come over this ridge here. Pull completely out of their line of sight, and they will have no choice but to cross the bridge. Of course, they could go back to the other side, but I don't think they're going to do that. The AI is pretty much... Look at, they're still shooting. Fuck you guys. The AI is pretty much closest point. They take the closest option between 2 points. I don't know how my javelins aren't hitting at this range. There's just packed enemy troops down there.
On my flank! Line formation!
When they approach, because I think they're going to, we'll see if they just send the infantry first. It'd be smarter for them just to send the infantry and keep the archers back. But when they approach, we're going to roar up here, get into position quickly. Here they come, and we're going to unleash hell. What I'm waiting for is a significant amount of them to commit, because if they don't get on the bridge, if I just charge them now, I think they'll just back off. You see them kind of going back and forth like they're hesitant. It's almost like a human opponent is playing this battle right now. They're playing strategically pretty well. Of course, a human opponent, unless they were forced to retreat, would probably go around. They would take the long way, and they wouldn't follow. So that blur commands I just gave, I do that like breathing. I've played so much Bannerlord. That was me positioning all of my units, archers in the rear, of course, spreading them out, 8th Corps to the flank, infantry towards the front, and I just called my cavalry towards the front as well, because it's time to bottle up and destroy these fucks. Their archers are mixed in here too. They're starting to peel back, which is again smart. Their archers are, the AI is playing pretty well in this battle, but they are bottled up. I've got them to commit. They're really fucked at this stage. Even a human opponent would be fucked, because if they retreat, then we'll just charge them down. So we're going to rain death on them here. If they retreat, we'll attack. If they charge, we'll attack. And of course, if they stand there, we're just going to kill them by the dozens. I've got 2 units here ready to attack if they charge, and we're going to join them. I'll probably join my men on foot here. Our attack will be the 1st, 6th, and 8th, and I may charge a cav division as well. In we go with our lightning fast axe. I'm gonna rip some fucking heads off here. My units are in shield wall. They should be joining us soon. Let's get these guys up here faster. I want my javelin throwers at range. I want them throwing javelins, adding their carnage to all the missiles that are pounding the enemy here. Some of these units are crossbowmen, so this is even more important that we attack aggressively. We can't let them try to get spread out on this side and shoot at us. Time to engage. Their crossbowmen are caught in between. Let's teach them a good lesson here. Yeah, you see my axe is so short I missed some attempts. But it's so fucking fast, nobody can gain an initiative on me. Against a one-on-one unit, it's basically undefeatable. It doesn't matter if they block. Eventually I'll either break their shield or kill them. Just a hurricane of death. Oh shit. Now that guy's got a fast weapon, but he goes down as well. Their crossbow, it looks like a lot of their crossbow fell back. It looks like they're going all the way around. Alright, let's pick up these arrows. So my units just fired 1,000 arrows into this little river here. I'm going to have them pick up as much of this equipment as they can. I've started doing this more in this 300 challenge. When you're facing this many enemies, there's going to be at least one more big wave. What I'm doing is I want these archers and javelin throwers. Look at them. They're over there picking up javelins. I'll take some javelins myself. We'll reload our ammunition here. We'll get these archers down here to pick up some of their air shots. And then it's on to the next stage. You see these guys coming down. I've got all these guys on hold fire too. Of course, I don't want them shooting 800 yards at enemies.
Stand apart.
Yeah, all these quivers, if they can pick them up, they'll do so. So the enemy's going over towards that bridge. Interesting. The AI really is acting pretty smart here. It's like they realize that was a mistake, and so they're going to reform and try a different approach. Of course, they have to approach us. They attacked us. That's an advantage we have in this battle. There's no horses here? I need a horse. Do a little whistle. Someone suggested in an episode that we should be able to whistle for our horses. No shit. It'd be sweet if this guy just came right to me when I called. Nice looking horse. Off we go to the next stage. Now I don't know this map. This is the first time I've ever seen this map. I've seen probably 80 or 70% of the maps. I had Cav that chased too far here. I've seen most of the maps in the game. But I just know enough about terrain and fighting battles to tell you that this is our next option here to attack the enemy. Oh, hello. There are military terms for the tactic I'm about to use, and I'm actually not very familiar with the military term for it. It's a decline slope strategy, an opposite slope strategy. The idea behind this is effectively to make the enemy approach. Even though they're uphill, theoretically that's a disadvantage. What we're going to do though is we're going to be close to the ridge of the hill. So as they come over the hill, as they stick their heads up over that, they will be absolutely obliterated by ammunition. Right? These guys all have to, these are a lot of crossbowmen there. Looks like they're gathering their force into a big mass. Those guys are going to have to come over this ridge. And when they do so, we'll open fire they'll literally will get 800 arrows, javelins, etc. in their face. And we're going to keep melee units, elite cav units, the skirmishers, 20, 30 yards from this ridge, so that if they try to rush us, we can bottle them up at the edge of the ridge, prevent them from getting to our archers, and then absolutely obliterate them with archery fire. Their archers largely won't be able to set up, and we'll be able to shoot them to pieces. So they're sending cav, but this is kind of a weak wave. We killed the majority of their elite cav. We still have to deal with this. If it comes down too far down here, we'll probably attack with some units, but for now, I'm fine with us just giving them a couple volleys here, shooting them all off their horses, and that should be that. I love when body parts and people are sliding down the hill. It looks amazing. All right, so these guys were our first victims of this strategy. I don't want to waste too much ammunition here, but you see how effective that was. So we'll hold fire. Now we'll let it open up again. This guy, I don't know what this guy's doing. This is suicide is what they did. Their crossbowmen charged down like we were allies or something like that. And they just got obliterated. So we'll hold arrows again. We don't want to shoot. We don't want them shooting unless the enemy's right there. What the fuck is that? That's fucking crossbowmen behind us. Fuck. Let's get our archers up on this ridge. Let's get our crossbowmen down there in a shield wall. We've got to attack this motherfucker. The enemy's got us pinched here. All right, let's move infantry divisions towards the enemy. Let's charge with our Fian champs and 4th Corps. This is kind of a crisis. And of course, the game is not letting me lay out the formations like I like. Wonderful. All right, 1st and 6th can attack. Danny and Fian champs are going to have to go into battle here, head first. I do have crossbowmen there to help with defense, and we've got to take care of these guys behind us first. I don't know if that was planned. If it was planned, that was incredible. Because they arrived very sneakily. It's almost like they crept in the water right behind us. Now, they should have been shooting at range. But whatever the case, that was a pretty good strategy. Now, we were able to combat it. We were able to counter it. Now we get these units spread out quickly because we need to attack this group before they get set up and start shooting downhill. So we'll keep a cav unit in shield wall here, or a square rather, attack this with infantry, and then open fire on those guys coming down the hill. I know I'm talking a lot, talking fast. If you need to rewind any of that, understand I'm trying to play and narrate at the same time. It's not easy, folks. Doing the best I can. All right, so we're opening fire. They do have a bunch of crossbowmen that are shooting us, so we need to prioritize attacking that, but we've got to deal with their infantry first.
Well, score one move by the artificial intelligence there. I don't know if that was planned, but it sure seemed like it, so I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. We're able to clean it up, though. We've already got our melee units now on their infantry, or on their archers here. We did suffer quite a few losses there, but that was pretty unusual. That was pretty exceptional by the AI. Who knows? Tailworlds may be making small adjustments on the fly. I don't have any mods that affect the AI in battle. I do have some mods that makes the game harder outside of the game. Of course, there's some very potent lords on the enemy side, and they also have 2 different mods that make their armies tougher. They have more elite troops, less peasants, and more elite troops. That's why we're still facing tier 4 troops here, even though we've killed 1,000 of their units. More than 1,000, probably. Those guys actually look like they're routing. When the enemy divides like that, I see a huge force across the river. We might have caused some of those units to rout. They might have been so disheartened by the fact that their little ambush there got destroyed. They might be like saying, you know what? Everything we do, we're fucked. We're out of here. No, it looks like they're reforming across the bridge here. Maybe I can get some of these fucks to rout if we just chop off a few more heads. Of course, anytime you have archers, crossbowmen moving, and they're not shooting you, you should be attacking, right? You need to be aware and ready to pull out your shield if they attack you. But these guys are highly vulnerable. We're going to let them reform, but they got to pay a head tax. We're going to say, let's call it 1 in 8 heads come off for you fucks to get back on your other side of the bridge, right? This is a toll bridge. The toll for you fucks is beheading. Oh, see, they're starting to pull their crossbow out, so we're out of there in the nick of time. But you see my shield. I've got my shield ready in case they would have started shooting at me there. Immediately, I would have turned into a defensive tank, tried to run them over and get out of there. So again, I've got another little bit of a ridge here the enemy has to approach, and they have to come across that bridge. So I'm going to be able to stretch out archers, pound them as they cross the bridge, and then we can get our forces, our heavy infantry forces, concentrated in this little dell here. They can't shoot us. We can shoot them. And then we can overwhelm this enemy. What the f? They are fucking routing, I think. Let's send in the 8th Corps, the 3rd Corps, the 2nd Corps, our cav units. See if we can't encourage these guys to rout. Sometimes when you kick an enemy's ass so bad, you don't have to fight their whole force. They will simply leave the battlefield. It takes a beating, usually, for that to happen. But this battle has been a beating. It's been a chess match between a teenager and Kasparov. Everything they've done, we've just totally butchered them. Every defensive move, we also made an attack at the same time. This has been a complete ass whipping. So just in case they turn here, I'm bringing down some infantry behind me to reinforce me. But we're trying to basically push this enemy off the mat, right? We're trying to end this match right here. These archers are set up. They're still raining death. I'm ripping horses apart. I got to be careful here. I can get sandwiched between these 2 different forces. They got cav coming here and crossbowmen with units behind us. But we've got a strong line here I can retreat to. And our fast battle axe just absolutely murders cavalry. Just horses being obliterated everywhere. Some of those guys are shooting, but a lot ran. The 8th Corps is still on them, and there's an infantry unit chasing them down. This cav here is all bottled up, so they're getting shot to pieces. They're trying to retreat, but I've got an infantry line right here bottling them up. So they're being obliterated too. I think this battle is over. I just glanced at the power bar, and the enemy, we've butchered the enemy in this battle multiple times. They're acting really strange. Their forces are divided, and I can't tell if some are routing and some are setting up or what. But we're going to still hold this bridgehead here. We've got another very defensible position. Our nobles are simply trampling the enemy. I've got nobles with 300 riding skills, so they're doing like 30 damage and just killing people left and right. What is this? They got a little group of fucking crossbow here. Yeah, die, Phil. No, you guys can have a battle axe. You can pay the head toll too. You guys should go back to your huts before we kill the rest of you fucks. Fine, you want to shoot at me? We'll bring up forces to finish you off.
Follow me!
What we got here? Cav charging? The enemy is so divided right now.
Follow me! After me!
Yeah, my short axe is a liability on a horse. Fortunately, I've got this wicked pole arm. I like this combination. I'm going to keep playing around with it. It's a very short, powerful axe, and then a pretty fast, very long pole arm. Enemy is fleeing. Goodbye, boys. A few more head tolls here. Head tax tolls. And another successful rout by our 300. Still got a lot of forces left. I mean, we've got half our army still alive. This was a perfect battlefield for us to maul the enemy. You don't get kind of better setups than this. I may try to challenge a larger force on this battle map later on because the tactical opportunities with a map like this are pretty vast. There was literally one opportunity after another for me here tactically. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode. We're going to continue on with this 300 series. We will look for harder and harder challenges, and I will see you friends next time.